Hello, my name is Bobby Donuffin and welcome to Trials Evolution Tracks of the Week, where we'll be looking at our favourite custom tracks made by the community. Now this week we didn't manage to find too many skill games that grabbed our attention, but we do however have our top 10 Trials tracks. So here we go with Trials Evolution Tracks of the Week. Okay, first up we have Bike and Mechanics by Dragon Mickey, and this is a themed track which is set in a construction site. This track has got a really nice flow to it, and while some of the obstacles are a bit more challenging, I think it finds the right mix between challenging obstacles, smooth flowing jumps, and some cool mechanisms too. It's a nice track, it's rated hard, and it's definitely worth your time. Okay, next up we have Casa de Bones by Mr. Bones 187-2000, and this is another hard track, although I would personally say it sits in the higher end of that tier. This track borrows its style from Dark City Run, which is an extreme track that was shipped with the original game. This track is stylish and it's challenging. You will need one or two tricks up your sleeve to be able to get through it, but it's definitely a fun track to play. Staying with the hard tracks, we move on to Topless by Audio Additive, and this is a theme track set in a futuristic landscape. Now there are some technical obstacles on this course, but it has a real nice flow to it when you hit them just right. And while that is a good enough reason on its own to play this track, what really sets it apart is its theme, and the obvious effort that the creator has put in to achieve that. Moving on, we have Fluid by Psycho Killman 1. Now at first glance this track appears to be entirely made of water, but looks can be deceiving, and as you soon discover, not all is as it seems. The genius of this track is that the mechanisms are hidden within the water-bound blocks, and if like me you enjoy something a little bit different, then this track is definitely for you. Next up we have another track by Psycho Killman 1, this one's called Late for School. And in this track your rider wakes up and realises that gasp, he's late for school, so he has to strap on his helmet and head through the neighbourhood on the way to the schoolhouse. There's some fun obstacles on this track, but what really makes it stand out is its scenery and its attention to detail. Here we have Panel Madness by Ozzy Nuffman. Now this is a track that really utilises the mechanisms within the game. As you move through the course, many parts of the track also move, shaping and changing the way ahead of you. My only issue with this track is that it's too short, but I do look forward to seeing more tracks from this creator in the future. Now, since last week we brought you a Mario themed level, it only seems fitting that this week we bring you Sonic the Hedgehog by Bob Saw, which is a fun tribute to the Sonic games that takes you through 2 levels and 2 boss fights. There's even some 8-bit Sonic music for us there to enjoy, but be warned, the creator used sound effects to make this, so every time you bail it will start over again. But this is still a fun track to play and a great effort overall. Moving on, we have Target Down by Compy XI, and there's a really cool idea at play on this track whereby you have to hit targets to activate mechanisms to progress through the track. Overall the track flows really nicely, and again my only issue with it is that it's too short. I really would like to see more of this on bigger tracks in the future. Next up we have The Haunted Mansion by Dosanko, in which you have to make your way through You've guessed it, a haunted mansion. And whilst this is the easiest track we've featured this week, don't let that put you off. It still features some cool obstacles, some interesting ideas, and besides, it's still scarier than Silent Hill Downpour. And finally we have the Construct X by Killy the Bit, and as you can see this is a track made entirely of awesome. It's an obvious reference to the Matrix film, and more specifically the Construct training program, and what better place to train your trial skills. This track is visually stunning, it flows beautifully, and it is definitely my favourite track of the week. So there we have this week's Trials Evolution tracks of the week. Big thank you once again to Alan for helping me play through these tracks and many, many more. And whilst we said we didn't find many skill games that were worth showcasing this week, we did find one, this one, called Push the Button by Shisharoni. In this game you make your way through the course, taking control of various obstacles and mini games along the way. It's a lot of fun, but don't take my word for it, take the word of this dancing pig. That'll do, pig, that'll do, and I'll see you next time.